My first book is coming out. The title is All for Nothing, and it means a few things to me, and I'm sure it's going to mean a few things for you. If I could describe my book in one word, that word is wealth. Your mind has a direct correlation to your pockets, and your pockets have a direct correlation to your mind. You're never going to reach your true potential if you have a horrible mindset. You're also never going to reach your potential if you don't make money. Money is just a tool, whether it's fiat currency, whether it's crypto, whether it's gold. I believe we all have a responsibility to have the most powerful mindset we can have and make the most amount of money we can make in our lifetime. It's the intention of your mindset. It's the intention of money that matters. Most people live their entire life. They work, they have a family, they do all these things and then have nothing to show for it. They think their whole life has to be painful. They have to be operating a low frequency of shame, of guilt, depression. In reality, you can have everything for nothing. You can buy assets like real estate without using your own money. But I believe it all starts with the mentality. Most people go to the grave with regret. You can't drive a brink truck to your funeral. So why are you doing everything that you're doing right now? Most people are doing everything for nothing. And that's exactly what I want to help you eliminate is a victim mentality. And that's exactly where everything starts. That's why most successful people have a phenomenal mindset, or they write books or put content out there. They talk a lot about the mind, and most people's thoughts are negative. The moment they wake up, negative thoughts. Before they go to bed, negative thoughts. So this book is not only for you, the reader, but selfishly, it's for me. It's for me to consistently overcome that peasant victim mentality. This is what happened. This is what's happening in my life, and how you overcome and ultimately have fun. Like a lot of times when you're successful, or you're finding success and you're getting access to a lot of information and making money and acquiring assets, those same bad habits or those same bad thoughts will start to show up again, or they'll start to compound, or they turn into essentially a nightmare. And that's exactly why I wrote the book, is for me to reflect back on, knowing this is going to help somebody else out as well. The way that I designed the book was, if you're looking at it from a North Star perspective, the vision, where do I want to get the reader to go to, is showing that they're not doing all of this in their life for nothing. Most people are doing all of this for nothing. They have a horrible job. They have horrible habits, environment of people, places, things, a bad mindset. That was the first piece, to bring more joy to people's life by helping them tap into the darkness, the chambers in their mind, to see the light. You don't have to stay in that darkness forever. And guess what? You can't stay in the light forever either, because that light will turn off really quick and things can get dark. I think one thing that people are going to learn about me in the book is I'm the guy that will go in the dark chamber with you and will suffer and will say that what's better than work is more work. But one thing I'm learning about myself that you guys are going to learn about is leaning into love, gratitude, leaning into all the frequencies. That's the beauty about humans, is we have emotions. It's pretty wise in business and life to do your best to make data-driven, non-emotional decisions. But no, you should be pissed off if someone screws you over. You should be shameful if you do something bad, but you don't have to stay there. What people are going to learn about Tyler Bossetti in this book is I understand that every single day I still wake up with the victim mentality. I understand I know what I need to do. I understand that we usually suppress those things: alcohol, drugs, porn, all these things. I'm just vulnerable enough to bring it to the forefront. I think most people think that I'm just this rich guy on social media, but they don't understand what I've gone through, what I'm continuing to go through. And at the end of the day, I know my intentions. When you know your intentions, that you're genuinely trying to help, everything becomes easier. When I first started the book, I was super excited. And then once you start writing the book, by human nature, I start to have a victim mentality. I start to have limited beliefs that creep in. Things that I share in the book that's helped me. That's the whole point of why I love books. It's cheat codes. It's an actual asset that you can pass on for generations. I'm very upset personally that my ancestors never wrote a book or didn't have a journal that I had access to. So in a way, this is me being very, very selfish to myself. So I can reflect back in this book and I can go, wow, I remember when I had this specific emotion and how I overcame it, or how I'm experiencing this again and I'm finding a reoccurring habit, whether it's good or bad. How do I conquer this, or how do I duplicate this? I think the hardest part about this book, as far as sharing, is asking myself the question, who am I to write a book? Who am I to share these insights? Who am I to tell somebody how to fix their mentality or how to eliminate financial restriction, or how to build recession-proof wealth. It's been really interesting because when you write these things in a book, you're like, wow, now I need to live by these identities that I've created, or these beliefs or values or tips that I'm sharing. But then also, again, coming back to the limited beliefs, you almost feel that you're not worthy of putting a book out. That's the question I asked myself along this journey, nearly a year of writing this book. Who am I to write this book? Well, when you figure out who you are, then you're confident and certain enough to actually put a book out, knowing that you can build upon that book. You could write another book around how your first book was actually all wrong. And that's the whole point of ending that victim mentality. You are whoever you decide to be. At the end of the day, I think it comes down to being vulnerable and being real. And that's exactly my identity. So writing a book actually helped me tremendously with making content, building businesses, acquiring more assets. How we broke it down was 4 categories after we chose the title, All for Nothing, and how I'm trying to help people not live their whole life for nothing and how they can acquire assets with nothing, $0 out of their pocket. Number 1 is we created a North Star. It's having that visual that the reader is going to go through from A to Z, from start to finish of the book. The second piece was the iconic idea. The iconic idea of All for Nothing is, I believe most people think that it's not how hard you work, but it's your circumstances, the things that happened to you as a kid, the inner circumstances, the inner battle that you have, or outer circumstances. Someone cut you off on the way to work, or you got fired, or the market tanked. In reality, it is how hard you work, but it's also you having full control of your mentality. It's you having control of the inner circumstance, which controls the outer circumstance. So that was the big iconic idea. And number 3 is the problem. It's created a big problem because guess what? Most people are walking around with the victim peasant mentality. They're operating in a low frequency. They're bringing people down. Secondly, most people have massive financial restriction. They don't think that they deserve to be a millionaire, or they deserve to start a business or have side hustles, or to get a raise at work, or to build, last but not least, recession-proof wealth. That is the final piece, is a solution. We created a North Star. Here's the iconic idea. Here's the problem and or problems that it's created, and here are the solutions. So as you navigate and read through this book, you're going to start thinking about these things in your life, in your business, in your environment of the people that you're around, the things that you're doing, the places that you're going to. And that's exactly how we designed this book. From those 4 pieces, we created chapters. Each of those chapters in this book is a story in itself. So whether you just open up the book and you start on chapter 7, that's going to be a whole story. Now, I do recommend starting from start to finish. I think all the chapters are great. My favorite chapter in the book, I believe it's the first chapter. No choice. The first chapter is my favorite because most books that are purchased are never opened. Maybe 1% that are opened are never finished. And that's how most people are operating their life. They're doing all of this for nothing. They buy the book for nothing, or they read halfway through for nothing. And better yet, the ones that actually read it all the way through, they're going to take 0 action steps to change their life. So that is why I decided to choose the first chapter, No Choice, to put yourself, put your business, put your family, put your mindset in no choice situations. Whether it's putting a date on the calendar to accomplish a goal, whether it's putting a date on the calendar to go on vacation, or it's putting a date on the calendar to say, by this date, I'm gonna read this book. It's gonna be 100% completed. So that's what I challenge you is, 1, if you're gonna do something, whether it's buying my book or somebody else's book, do the shit you say you're going to do. Most people don't do the shit they say they're going to do. So I challenge you to make sure you ask yourself the most important question of this book. Are you doing all of this for nothing?